It's automatic. Don't touch it, don't touch it.
He's a Canadian Stan. Hey Marcel, how's it going, man? Good to meet you.
Good.
In person.
Speaking, I don't know if you're part of it or not.
I haven't heard of it actually.
So this is Marcel. He is a Canadian that lives in this town. So Marcel, tell us about this place.
Hello, my name is Marcel, of course. I'm from Canada, living in the Bryansk region. This is the Bryansk city, and I've been living here for about 3 years now.
Why'd you move here?
Well, my wife is originally from here, so we wanted to come back and look after her dad and take care of family. So that was the main motivation, and I was always planning to come to Russia for about 10 years. So let's just say the stars lined up, and it all fell into place, and had planned it, like I said, for some time. So we're in the Bryansk region because of our family, but as well, you're in partisan country here. It's a place with lots of forests and lots of rivers and swamps and interesting lakes.
Now, when things got more intense because of the SMO and your proximity to the border, did you guys consider moving away?
No, I didn't consider moving away. In as much as like I have, a dacha to go to when we're in the city. I have an apartment in the city. They were attacking quite intensely during the January, February period. It was quite intense attacks, but not many got through. And if they did, they were just usually diverted off course. Yeah, I mean, it does make your blood pressure rise when there's notices of rockets and drones, but
so for people like me who don't know, what's to stop people who live here from being concerned about maybe like Kursk Part 2 happening here?
Sure. The Kursk operation is very politically motivated to get grandiose headlines, I guess, to play a political card. And it was rather unsuccessful. It didn't penetrate that deep into the territory. Although it did do a tremendous amount of damage and disrupted quite a few people's lives, they were still, within the 20-30 kilometer region of the border. And we were potentially going to have to anticipate some kind of incursion into this region, and there has been attempts, but they were stopped.
And you've seen drones yourself here?
I've definitely heard drones overhead. In the evening, you'll hear them sometimes, or at the cottage. I mean, I've heard them within the city limits as well.
What does it sound like?
It depends what kind of drones. I mean, you have the ones that sound like a flying lawnmower. Those are the ones that we saw in the country. And the ones in the city, we didn't really hear them. What you would hear is the kinetic detonation of it being intercepted. So you didn't even understand if it was a rocket or if it was a fast flying drone. When I first got to Russia in 2022, which was April, it hadn't been that long, and there was already some kinetic actions from the conflict started then. So, I guess you get used to the environment you're in.
So we have been taken to a place to have lunch. Is this going to be tasty?
Depends on what we're eating.
Interesting. So we got animal skin on the wall, bar here, cowboy hats. And this looks like, a stop you might see in America. So we just had a nice meal at this place, and now we're headed off to our next location. These are our military escorts. And Eddie and Stan are filming the vehicle. We just had lunch with military guys that did not want to be filmed, and now we're going somewhere else, and I noticed they were gearing up and getting their weapons ready. So I'm curious, are things more dangerous?
It's not that things are necessarily more dangerous, but It's better to be prepared than to not be prepared. So the guys obviously suited up. They're probably locked and loaded. I don't think those are empty magazines that they have in their weapons. So they're there to ensure the safety of everyone in this van, including themselves and the other trucks, because we're heading a little bit closer towards the border to be able to talk to some people who have been victims of this unnecessary violence from the other side. So at the restaurant, obviously, we had some lunch. And we spoke to the different people that are going to be escorting us. We made some very nice and emotional toasts, which is always good and it's always needed, and it's part of the Russian culture.
This is my female perspective. I just couldn't stop from crying. I was trying not to cry. I have 3 sons, and I want them to live in a peaceful time. And I'm so grateful for these men who are now protecting my country, and they are, they're doing whatever they can do so for the peace to come, that we can live in a peaceful time for many, many years from now. So, and it was hard for me just not to cry, and just, I didn't have enough words to say thank you to them and be grateful.
I apologize to my wife in advance, who's going to be looking at this video and smacking me on my forehead after she sees everything, I say everything. But otherwise, you almost cried because of my toast, I assume, right?
Yes, I heard your toast.
A long time to think about what I was going to say, but everything that was said with a purpose.
Well, to be dead honest, I almost cried because of your toast.
You don't speak Russian.
And I'm not joking. Sveta was translating for me.
You need to explain what I really... We decided to stop by a monument dedicated to this particular village where back in World War II, or the Great Patriotic War as they call it here, a lot of local civilian population were exterminated by the incoming German forces, and I think it's a very, very symbolic place to do a bit of a brief stop, film, and have some reflective thoughts.
It's fresh flowers, if you can see, when people still come to this place, and the memory for the people who died here.
So it looks like 2 angels holding up the crown of thorns, like like Christ's crown of thorns.
Yes, exactly.
Rolling?
Yes.
Did you like that clip? If so, click here. But if you love that clip, click here and watch the full video. Also remember to like, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, share before I disappear.